for activity 4, we have 8 problems, and it asks us to choose any 6 to complete. So basically what we're doing is it says compare. And by compare, that means you're greater than, less than, or equal to symbols. So we are going to need to turn these into the same form. I'm a teacher, and I still can't compare 5100ths and 511ths without turning them to the same form. And that form that we've talked about doing is as a percent. So let's ease. Oh, I love decimals. Decimals are easy to turn to percents. I can simply use my DP method that says I have to move 2 times from our decimal to our percent. So if I'm going to do that, I go 1, 2, and I end up with 51%. Awesome. That's a super easy. Now 511ths, maybe not as easy. We're going to have to turn it into a decimal and then turn that decimal into a percent. So I'm going to start by doing my cowboy. And then I'm going to set up my cowboy method. So my cowboy goes inside the house. So my top number, he's the cowboy riding the horse. He hangs up his hat, put a decimal, kicks off his boots, put a decimal, eats 3 donuts. The horse stays outside. And then I'm ready to start my division, where I look and I say, can 11 go into 5? And no, my size 11 foot will not go into a size 5. So I scoot over. And I say, how many times does 11 go into 50? That's a little bit harder, but we can do it. Some of you know it. If not, we're going to do our multiples. Remember, multiples is where you just do repeated addition. So I start with 11, and then I think 11 plus 11. And if I add 11 and 11, I get 22. Add 11 more gives me 33. Add 11 more gives me 44. 55. I like 11s because I can just double my number. Oh, I stopped there. Because how many could I do without going over 50? 1, 2, 3, 4 groups. 4 times 11 gave me 44. And remember, I subtract to get my next number. So I say, let's see. I'm going to make this a 10 and this a 4. So 10 minus 4 is 6. Bring down the 0. Oop, I'm getting closer. Let's go ahead and look. Oh, I think 55 is going to be close, but let's go ahead and add 11 more to make sure. And 55 plus 11 would be 66. Oh, 66 is too big. So how many groups was I able to go without going over 60? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups. 5 times 11 is 55. 60 minus 55, I have to borrow. Gives me a 5, and I have one more 0 to bring down. And so now I look again. Oh, we're back kind of where we started. How many times does 11 go into 50? 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And yes, we have a remainder, but no, it does not affect us. We've used up our 3 decimals. So now I have 454 thousandths. But I want a percent, so I think in my DP, I'm going to move 2 times. And I end up with 45.4%. So now I'm actually ready to compare. 5100ths compared to 511ths. And let's see, which one's bigger? I think they're not good test scores, but I'd rather have 51%. So when I go to compare, though, we have to put it back in the, remember our notes said put them back in the original form. So 5100ths is greater than 511ths. And I'm going to kind of circle that so I know that that's my answer. Because 51%, which went with the first one, was bigger than 45%. 45% was the 511ths when we turned it into a decimal and percentage. I'm going to do one more. If you feel comfortable, you may go. I'm going to do this next one right here that has scientific notation. Because if you remember from our notes that you took, you have to take a number out of scientific notation in order to compare it. Or you have to put this one into scientific notation. Either way is a good strategy. I'm going to turn them into percents. Everything's always told me turn them into percents, so I'm going to do that. So to turn it into percent, I first turn this just into a plain number. Get rid of the exponent, get rid of the scientific notation. So to do that, I have 2.12. Think of that positive numbers. We've been working on this. Positives are to the right on the number line, which means I need to move 2 times. So my new decimal's here. This one's gone. So I have 212. And then I also have 30.125. But I cannot just compare those numbers. Well, actually, you can. They're in the same form. They're just standard numbers. We can compare them. Or if you want to turn them into percentages, you could do that. But right now, these are both just plain old numbers. So we could stop here. And we would see that 212 is greater than 30.125. Now, if you wanted to go ahead and get in the habit of turning things into percentage, remember to turn this into a percentage. We'd have to move 2 more times this way. So, oh my goodness, it would be a huge percentage. 21,000%. We would have to move this decimal 2 times this way. So this would be 3,000%. So it's still going to be larger. 21,000% is still larger than 3,000. So for my final answer, don't forget you have to put this back into regular form. So I'm going to put 2.12 times 10 to the second power is greater than 30.125. I'm going to circle that as my final answer. So as you continue, as you pick some more of these, be very careful. Turn them into the same form. Sometimes you get lucky and you can just turn them both into regular numbers like we were able to on number 2 here. Usually you're going to have to turn them all into percentages. So you may continue working now.